As educational as that is right there, I'll just push pause. Father, we're grateful for the blessings of this beautiful day. Father, we're grateful for the privilege and opportunity to be able to experience it. And Father, we are grateful for all. And these things, Father, we pray in thy Son's name. Amen. Oh, it's a whole thing, man. I just got up. I don't got anything to talk about. Let's just do the disclaimer. Disclaimer. I just heard somebody else say, I better say a disclaimer. Yep, you better. Hello and good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Hobo Hideaway. That's this place where we exist. I am your host, Jack Schitt, and this segment that we are watching at this time is called Talking Shit with Jack Schitt. Everything that we share here is strictly for entertainment, documentary, or educational purposes only. I don't know what you're really going to get educated with here, to be honest with you. Mostly it's entertainment, if you can even call it that. Documentary, I might go along with that to a point because, basically, I want my grandkids to get to know me. And since they live all over the country and world and whatever, I don't get to see them. Maybe they can see me through this fashion. And yeah, mostly I go unfiltered because I want them to know who I really am. This is your grandpa, kids. Deal with it. Yeah, suck it up, Buttercup. Anyway, we aren't looking to buy, sell, or trade any items here. Anything you see here is just strictly for decoration. We don't buy, sell, or trade nothing. Let me see here. What else? The opinions that are shared are strictly here my opinions. If I'm sharing an opinion, that's my opinion. If you want to post something up in the comment and share it, that's your opinion. Just make sure you be polite and respectful about it. I'm doing my best to be polite and respectful up here. Of course, a lot of things that do come out of my mouth kind of come off a little bit, not polite and respectful, but, I get a little emotional sometimes. Yeah, but, we try to be kind because the kindness is the key. Anyway, so, yeah, I got up this morning. The fat cat, Mr. Tom, he climbed up on top of me and started doing this, the needy thing, where he's like kneading bread or something, on my shoulder. And then because I didn't move or whatever, he just started going, oh, I said something, so you came out. My odd cat, she just, as soon as I started speaking her language. Oh, coffee. Anyway, yeah, so I had to get out of bed and then put him outside. He wanted to go outside, and then this other cat, the odd cat, I know, I heard you. She was outside all night, so when he went out, she came in. Yeah, and then she went straight to the food dish. It's a whole thing. Anyway, and then I wake up and I'm blasted with emails and notifications and whatnot. I just had to sit for a little while and catch myself for a minute. So I took care of the animals, fed them, and made myself some coffee. And when I finally had a chance to sit down with my cup of coffee, I had my coffee in my bowl, and I just chilled out for a little while, and I put Mr. Grumpy on. That's what I do. Grumpy's laid back carving. Good morning, good morning. And I don't always comment. I don't always say hello in the chat. I'm a lurker, if anybody out there hadn't figured that out by now. That's what I do. I lurk. And that's the wording they use. What I call it is learning. You can call it lurking all day long. another thing. All these terminologies they got for people, but I call it learning. All right. The best way to learn is keep your mouth shut. Don't be reactive. Be calm and just sit there and just watch and observe and listen. You're going to learn a lot more if you just watch and listen and pay attention than you will ever by opening your mouth and talking. And I'm grateful that I learned that when I was young. The old men that I used to work with when I was a teenager, they taught me that. They taught me the old school ways, the right ways to be. And I've tried to teach that kind of stuff on to the next generations, but my kids didn't want to learn it. Some of their friends were perceptive, but maybe they were just pretend perceptive. I don't know. But I know my grandkids, man, they don't know nothing. All they know is the screen in front of their face. This little box, this little rectangle that far in front of their face. Leave me alone, Grandpa. I'm busy playing my game. I'm busy learning something here. Little freaking box that close to their face. And that was the last time I seen any of them. Oh, let me see. I think the last time. Oh no, well, other than my grandson, the older one's different. I'm talking the younger grandkids. The older grandboy just come over the other day. He ain't stuck with a screen in his face more. He's 20 now. He's in the real world now. He's trying to do that transition from, oh my God, I'm not a child being taken care of anymore, to I'm an adult now and I've got to figure out how to do it because nobody ever taught me. Yeah. And then he comes over here and, Grandpa, feel sorry for me, please. And I'm not going to do it. I can't feel sorry for anybody. I have learned. Once you learn and realize that we all make our own choices, and whatever inevitability that comes out of it, whatever consequences that may develop from it, is our own fault, is of our own doing. Everything in my whole life that ever happened that I used to whine and cry and complain and piss and moan about, I have woken up to the fact and realized it was all my own fault. I brought it all on my own self. I did it all my own self. Therefore, I got no reason to complain about all them other people that I was blaming for so long, because I can only blame my own self because I'm the one that chose to do it, be there, participate, interact, go along with. Whatever the case may be, I made the choices. Yeah. And it's the same, if that's going to be the inevitable truth for my own self, well, then it stands to reason that it's the inevitable truth for everybody else. And even situations where I felt like I was forced into or whatever, I could have walked away. There were many situations where I did walk away because my gut, my intuition screamed at me, get out. We all are built with that fight or flight mechanism within us. So we all have the ability to make the choice to get out. We don't have to go along with whatever the crowd tells us to. That's the problem. That herd mentality that gets us to go do things that we find morally apprehensive. I'm not going to bend over and, what's it called? Betray my own morals and standards just to appease anybody, nobody, period. Not even my own mother. I will not. It ain't going to happen. You can scream and yell at me telling me that your God and your religion and your whatever demands it all day long, and it doesn't resonate in me because I know you're a liar. And if you think you're telling the truth on those subjects, then you're a fool. So I mean, see, I told you I'd probably say something that would offend somebody. It just happens. You help? It happens because it's the truth. All right. Now, if you want to come leave comments in my section, you're welcome to, as long as they're the truth. If they're offensive, that's fine. If they're the truth, I don't argue with people when they leave comments anyway. I just give you a blessing. And I'm the type of person anyway. You can leave a comment, and even if I don't agree with it, and give you a blessing or whatever, I may agree with it and give you a blessing. It's gonna resonate with me every time. It's gonna resonate. I'm gonna think about it. It's like planting seeds, and them seeds, if nurtured and watered, will grow into a flourishing fruit tree or something to that effect. It'll produce fruit. Yeah. At any rate, I I do come to find quite often, as a matter of fact, because I like to keep my options open, my mind open. All right, that a lot of times I'm wrong about something I thought about, and what somebody said that I may not have agreed with makes sense later. Man, I had that issue with my pops. Shoot, forever, man. I didn't agree. Oh, he didn't like being called pops either. I'll tell you what. But my dad, he man, he gave me so much good advice in my lifetime that I didn't take at the time when I was young. And I wish I had now, because when I do look back upon all of it and think about it, I realize he really knew what he was talking about. He was right. He was a very smart, very wise man. He knew what he was talking about. And if I had only just listened and believed him at the time, but when you're a kid, you think everybody else is stupid and you're the only smart one on the planet, which is why we know that kids are stupid. But yeah. Anyway, the fact is too is none of us ever truly grow up, so we're all just a bunch of overgrown kids. So therefore, we're all stupid. Yeah. And I may sit here. People keep saying, "Oh, you're spitting out wise words, Jack," and this and that. Nah, man, I don't know how wise my words are. No, I don't think I know anything. That's the thing is, I'm a dumbass. I really am. I don't deny it. You know, and I honestly can tell you straight out, I don't believe anything. I believe nothing whatsoever, and the word belief is a trap. All right. Now, I know some things, but knowing something and believing something are two different things, two different definitions. If you know something is true, like, see here, this is like a table, man. It's got legs and it's got this hard top. I know that because it's right there. I know it. I don't have to believe in something that I know. Believing is not knowing, taking it on faith, hoping it's true. So I don't believe. I don't believe in belief. I just don't. I don't waste my time or energy with it. If I can't know it, then I move on. All right. I do a lot of research and I do experiments and I investigate. All right. But I don't take anything on belief. There's too many opportunities for corruption when you do that. Yeah. And I did that. I used to believe. When I was a kid, I believed, man, when I was a kid. Tinkerbell said, you got to believe, you got to believe, you got to clap and believe, you got to believe. Yeah, remember that? Peter Pan and Tinkerbell? I believe I could fly. Yeah. So jump off the roof then if you think you can fly. Believe you can fly. Whatever you want to say. But anyway, words have meanings, man. And most of the words that are used in the language today are being used incorrectly. We got a whole world of people out there using words incorrectly and not able to communicate with one another properly. And so we end up with all these people wanting to fight with each other and angry with each other all the time because they heard something that somebody said and took it in the wrong way. Yeah, when I say something that is meant to be helpful and kind and nice, neighbor across the street wants to kick my ass. Yeah, it happens. I bet most of you guys out there want to come kick my ass for half the things I say. Lucky for you, all you got to do is turn me off and not ever watch me again. Pretty much that simple. The neighbors, they don't have to wave at me anymore if they don't want to. Of course, for some reason, they still do. They smile and wave at me, and they run out and want to, hey, 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 and come talk to me. That's cool, though. I'll be walking down the street, and folks will be like, hey, Jack, how you doing, buddy? How's everything going? How's the wife? And then we'll be there for an hour talking about all kinds of theologies and yeah, if politics comes up, they all have learned real quick that if politics comes up, my answer is always the same. All right. It doesn't matter if it's right wing or left wing, it's the same doggone bird. The same bird. Flap, flap, flap. You get it? That same bird. You're worried about the wings, you should be worried about the head. Yeah, worried about the head, people. But yeah, everybody's blinded by the stupid things like the wings. Yeah, silliness. A lot of silliness in the world. But, that's the way I see it. And it does upset a lot of people, but a lot of these people have learned that it's better just not to talk about politics with me at all, or I'm going to make them feel like an idiot. I'm going to talk to them like an idiot. Because anybody who believes in politics is an idiot, for reals. Anybody who believes in anything that you cannot prove or know, from my perspective, is an idiot. But that, I know that comment right there is going to piss off a lot of people. It's going to upset a lot of people. So, I apologize for your ignorance of being upset. How's that? That's the best I can do. I'm not going to apologize for what I said and for how I see it, because that's what I know. No, that's what I KNOW. That's what I know. Now, I don't claim to know everything or necessarily anything. What I know is all things are possible and nothing is real. Yep, it's pretty true. You got to figure that one out yourself, though. It's kind of deep. It's not a shallow thought. You can't find that on the surface. You got to look really deep. And my advice to anybody who really wants to understand that is go look in the mirror for a very, very, very long time and do it repeatedly. Go look in the mirror, look yourself in the eye, and have a conversation. Oh, I know the world says if you do that, you're crazy, but no, that's the right way to do it. Before you even ever go talk to anybody else about anything else, go look in the mirror, go look yourself in the eye, and have that conversation. Yep. See how you feel about it. It changes your perspective real quick, I'll tell you. Once you realize that everything in your own personal world and universe is of your own making and design, it changes the way you do things. It changes the way you think about things. And I don't know, for me anyway, for me personally, it changed the way I've been doing things and thinking about things and experiencing this physical realm of existence. And I get more done. I'm constantly busy, and the only time I ever get to sit down and take a break is, well, I should say, the only time I ever get to sit down and make these conversation videos is when I'm sitting down to take a break. But I don't even do that, I mean, it's whatever. But it gives me a good excuse to sit down for a while and take a break. The problem is if I sit down too long, then I want to fall asleep, and that's probably a good thing just because I've been burnt out so bad. But when I do lay down, I can only sleep for so long, and then the pain kicks in. The back pinches, you move wrong, you roll wrong, whatever. The arms pinch, the neck pinches. And then I just got to get up and walk around. That's the only time I really have any good relief from it is movement. The medicine helps to a certain extent, but it's the movement. You got to be moving. Body in motion stays in motion and all that whatnot. Body at rest stays at rest. So here I am, this body. I sit down to do this video, and I just want to just now go back to sleep. Doggone cat woke me up too doggone early this morning. And I've been working till late. I think I was working until about 11:30 last night. It was almost 1 o'clock the night before. And I didn't even get all the painting done. I got, well, I had to let it dry. That's the thing. Each layer's got to get dried. Each layer, you build it up, and all that. That's how you do those things. When you paint certain things, you got to paint layers upon layers and whatnot. Anyway, see, I can just fall asleep right now. Maybe I need to take a day off and go disc golfing. If it ain't windy today, I might. It looks like the sun's up. We'll see. It was pretty windy yesterday, kind of chilly at the same time. Yesterday was Wednesday. Tuesday, we got snowed on. Not much. It coming down mostly as icy, like sleet, but still thing. Yeah. I got my glue gun back up and going, or I got a new glue gun, I should say. And so I've got my workstation making wind chimes back up and going. So that's cool. I'll get a few of them pumped out and try to get caught up on that. But got a bunch of people I want to mail them out to. And, but it's not in the budget to do that. That's going to have to wait. So, yeah. Ooh, that's going to be a neat one. I'm sorry. I got Grumpy's laid back carving over here on the thing, and he just laid out oh, never mind. I was going to show you, but he moved it. A really cool design, man, that he's going to lay out on a board, and he's going to burn it, and then he's going to paint it, and it's going to be freaking off the hook awesome. He just finished another one. He was doing little mushroom houses, gnome houses or whatever. And this one is a big mushroom with some diamond crystals or whatever and dripping some blood ooze or something down at the bottom. I don't know. It looks cool, though. Psychedelic. When I was a kid, we used to go buy this kind of stuff from different artists all the time. It was a big thing to collect people's artwork like that. Nowadays, everybody's like, well, let's just use a CNC router, man. Let's use a computer and a machine and an AI. And yeah, and we'll call it handcrafted art. I mean, I make jokes like that, but we use a laser our own selves. So we do. We use a laser. We do. We use a laser. So, she programs it in the computer. I don't know how to use a computer. So she does all that stuff. She's the brains of the outfit. I'm just the front guy, man. Yeah. Yeah, chicken on a stove. Turn the fire up and I'll dance a little more. But anyway, she programs that stuff in the computer, and then the computer tells the laser and all that. I know how to line the piece of wood up in the little, marked area and make sure that the little square lines up right and it prints. And even then, I mean, look at this stuff. It comes out. Oh, that one looks pretty good. But some of them, they come off center a little bit. And, you know, yeah, they're not all quite right. Kind of way off center there at the bottom. See how it's got all that gap on top. So, it's a learning curve. That one looks more like how I'd want it. That's the old logo. That one was way off. The points are way out of there. But, we do what we can. We try our best. If we give it our all and do our best, then I guess that's good enough, isn't it? And if it's not, then I guess somebody else better get up in there and do it, because that's all I got, Captain. I can't give it no more. Anyway. Yeah. I don't know what else I want to talk about. I don't know that I wanted to talk about any of that. I don't even remember what I talked about. Do you? Silliness. All nonsense and silliness. True facts. I don't know nothing, man. I don't think anybody ever knows anything. But I don't believe in nothing either, so I don't believe in nothing. I don't know nothing. And the word truth, oh, I've heard that one thrown around. Truth. What kind of fantasy is that again? I mean, seriously, I've heard it thrown around and used that this is true. Oh, wait, I was wrong. Oh, it must be this. Oh, wait. I mean, we heard that, what's his name? Fauci dude. Uh, oh, crap. I don't remember now. I got distracted by a squirrel over here. And, yeah, I don't know. I heard, when I first started this channel, if any of you from the old days are still here around, when I first started this channel, I was a recovering, just barely brand new recovering alcoholic. Okay, I mean, I'm still a recovering alcoholic. Once you're a recovering alcoholic, you're always recovering unless you're an active alcoholic. I mean, it's true. That's the way it is. I mean, you know, you're either an active addict alcoholic or you're a recovering addict alcoholic. So once you're recovering, you're always recovering. But anyway, I was brand new recovering, brand new into the program of it all. And I was just pissed off and angry at everything and everybody in the whole world. Not that that's really changed. Now I just accept it, whatever. I'm not necessarily pissed off at everybody. I just don't trust anything. Everything could go kibosh at any minute now. But I was way into the politics, and that was in 2021. And so, what was going on back then. Yeah, so I was always complaining about anything and everything and all that nonsense. All they did was, say we believe this is true. We know this is true, and then oh wait, we were wrong, and blah blah blah. Trust the science and what science is all about: experimenting and not knowing. That's what science is. Here we try this and it works this way, but it don't work that way, and trust the science. Yeah. So they lied to us constantly, telling us, that, they were pissing all over us and telling us it was raining, and yeah, I don't know how anybody can't be cynical after that. I mean, now I'm just constantly cynical about everything. I expect everything to be basically a lie out of their faces. When I say they, I'm talking about the ones that control the information, the ones that manipulate everybody, the government. All right. Not just the government. The government's mid level management. That's the thing. Even the president, even any ruler of any country, they're not upper management. They're mid level management. In the pyramid of all of it, the government is like way in the middle. And above them is the corporations. And above them is the banks. And above them, there's other entities, and at the very, very top, the very, very top, you got, what's his name again? Larry Fink. Oh, Larry Fink. Man, if you don't know who Larry Fink is, you need to go look him up. He is a very interesting man. Yep, he wears that human suit very well. Yes, he does. Oh, man. But I'm not going to tell you any more about him. That's up to you to go do the research. He doesn't like it when people talk about him, and even just the mere mention of his name is going to upset him. But there it is, man. Here I am, Mr. Larry Fink. Come get me, you freak. Knock on my door, man. Come on. Let's have a conversation and talk about it. Yeah, you lizard man. Larry Fink. The top of that pyramid. But here's the thing. Even he has a boss. My dad explained that to me when I was young growing up, that even if you own your own company and you're an independent contractor, you still have a boss. No matter what level of management you are, you always still have a boss. And you always got to make your boss happy. So even the CEOs of the top of the corporation of the planet, they got to appease the shareholders. All right. If the shareholders aren't happy, then they will replace that CEO. So even though that, Mr. Fink is the one that's up there on the top of the ladder now in that position, doesn't mean that he can hold that position indefinitely. It means that he only holds that position as long as he performs and keeps the shareholders happy. All right. Because without the shareholders, if they remove their investment, their shares, all right, and withhold their investments, all right, then the corporation can't do anything whatsoever, can't function. And we all bear witness to that right now, and have for the last couple of years, how the corporation of the planet is falling apart. That's why they're trying to replace the dollar. That's why they're trying to change the whole economy and rewrite the system right now, because the old way just isn't going to work with the technologies. The way everything is advanced, technologically speaking, and with whatever going on, they have to make these changes. It's an inevitable. We can all kick and scream, I don't want it. I like the old way. The old way sucked, man. I mean, the old ways of the Tartarian Empire worked out great until it fell. But the old ways we've been doing it here right now in our lifetime, and it ain't worked. It just hasn't worked at all. And with the spaceships coming, the UFOs and stuff, what are they called? The Galactic Federation showing up. It's all going to go on their system anyway. So we got to change our systems here and conform into that in order to be a part of the Galactic Federation. Yeah, it's inevitable. Inevitable. We can kick and scream and whatever, but they've been programming us, desensitizing us for decades. You remember back when they just had the radio shows before the television, and they had was it Orson Welles or whatever, and they had the War of the Worlds podcast, broadcast, whatever it was. And they started the show, and everybody that was listening freaked out and thought they were really being invaded by aliens. They all left and quit listening to the radio show and went crazy, trying to, save each other or get all the stuff and blah, blah. And there was a lot of casualties, a lot of injuries. And then, of course, at the end of the program, they said, this was the broadcast, and we hope you enjoyed our show, and blah, blah, blah. And, oh, man, a lot of people got hurt, and a lot of people were pissed off, and they learned a lot of lessons. And when I say they learned a lot of lessons, I mean the people that, run the show, all right, that are performing the experiment. They learned. And what they learned was that the people were not ready for any of that kind of information yet. The people weren't ready for change. And so they introduced the television, and they started introducing different types of programming slowly, and they changed the radio to different types of programming. And it evolved to what it is today. And you look at it today, they start announcing these things and nobody even bats an eye. They've been telling us about the off-world beings and interdimensional beings and all this other stuff for a lot of years now. And everybody just like, whatever, dude. I'll believe it when I see it. And I just watched the, weather do whatever yesterday talking about they saw the thing go across the skies of the United States. Something that they couldn't explain, blah, blah, UFO is what they titled, or UAV or whatever they call it. I don't remember anyway. It's all the same. It's an unidentified aircraft that they're unable to understand. It ain't one of ours. And there it is. They're seeing other things. They're talking about communications going on and whatnot. But I'm not seeing anything other than the rest of us that are here, you, me, and whatever, the people at the grocery store. And as far as I'm concerned, we're the aliens. That's what I see, man. I see a bunch of aliens, disconnected beings that are no longer human. A whole society of us. Yeah. Anyway, good stuff. All crap and nonsense. All malarkey, man. I'll tell you what. Everybody's got freedom of choice. If you want to choose to believe in something, then you go right ahead and believe in it. It's none of my doggone business. Just like it's nobody's business if I don't want to believe in anything. If I see it and I can touch it, smell it, taste it, then I might know that I think I might know, but I'm not going to waste my energy, my time, or anything else on belief. To me, that's just another word for theology, theory, the practice of theory, of talking about theology. All right? It's theory. I believe that's the same thing as theory. I theologize. I think it might be true, and it's possible, maybe. But I don't know for sure because I wasn't there to see it, smell it, taste it, or bear witness to it. So therefore, I can't know for sure. Yep. Same thing, if something's written down, things that are written can be changed, altered, and whatever, rewritten. So I don't know if they're true or not either. They're good stories. But I'm not going to sit there and say, I know they're true, because I can't know that. That's a theory. I have a theory they might be true, but I hope they might be true. I really do. I hope they might be true. But that don't make them true. Whatever the fuck true is. Yeah. Yep. There's a vernacular that I've been trying to avoid for a long, long time. Oh, I guess sometimes it's just warranted. Yep. I guess I better go get myself another cup of coffee and maybe some breakfast in my stomach so I can figure out how to do some work today. I know what needs to be done. I got a bunch of little gnomes to carve and paint, and I got a bunch of wind chimes to make. That's my day. That's my day for the next month. Yep. I've got 2 birthday orders and a big Mother's Day order to fulfill. And I keep getting other orders coming in, little ones. And I just don't know that I'm going to be able to keep up. And I keep trying to get the neighbor kid to come help because he says he wants to learn, but he doesn't ever show up. And he's on spring break right now. What are we on? Thursday. Spring break's almost over. So whatever, man. He's out chasing the skirts, I guess. I mean, I was doing the same thing with his age, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. It's none of my business. But ain't nobody gonna come do the work for me, so I guess I better get my lazy butt up and go do it my own doggone self. Because it needs to get done. Get her done. Yeah. And then, oh my gosh, if the weather's nice, I might have to mow the lawn. It just snowed a couple days ago, but the grass got big because it started warming up again, and now I gotta go mow it. And it's patchy. It's not even consistent. It's just little patches here and there. Something. It's the way it is here in the Midwest. I didn't plant none of it. It's all natural. Most of it's clover out there anyway and other things. I might start cultivating it. All right. Shake it off. Come on, man. Shake it off. I don't want to. I don't want to. Yes, you do. Get her done. No, I don't want to. Yes, you do. All right. I'm going to go fight with myself for a while. Good luck to each and every single one of you out there. Till next time, remember, kindness is key. And I love you. Later.